Okay, so I'm going to show you how to package the iAngel. This is how I do it. There's probably different ways to do it, but I'm going to just give you something to reference, go step by step. So I'm going to take it to the point where, let's say you already have the label printed, okay? So you have the label here, and then you're just going to fold them in half, like that, okay? The other things you have is you have the label sleeve, you got tape, you got scissors, a black marker. This is cellophane wrap, just from the kitchen, and then you got your product. Okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the cellophane wrap, and then we're gonna wrap this one time around. So what I like to do is I start from the bottom so that the seam is on the bottom. Okay. And I wrap it around the broad side of the product. Okay. Alright. And then I'm going to cut it. Okay. And just kind of make sure it's lined up, stretch it out. Bam. Okay, smooth it out. Okay. So then we're going to put that aside for now. Okay. And then I'm going to take a normal grocery bag paper from like Mariano's or Whole Foods. I've already taken out the handles, but basically you take the handles off of each side. Okay. And then I'm going to open it up. And then on this side where it opens, okay, because you know it folds to one side. Where that side, where I open it, then I'm going to cut on that side. Okay. At the top. I'm going to cut like an L shape. I'm going to go down all the way. Okay. And then I'm going to make an L shape at the bottom of the bag where the seams are. Okay. So now it's like this, okay? Then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put this against my body, okay? And I'm gonna push the corners in. Okay. I'm pushing the corners in. And we're gonna turn this inside out, and I'm gonna flatten it along my body like this. Okay? And then I'm gonna push it. Then just push out the corners at the end. And so now I've turned the bag inside out, right? Okay. So this is now my packaging paper. And so then now I'll take this product, and with the hole, where the hole is to see the product, that's gonna go on the inside, and I'm gonna turn it upside down so the handle's on the bottom, okay? And it should line up pretty perfectly with the seams, okay? It's just about the same measurements, okay? And then I'm gonna stretch this side, the broad side, I'm gonna stretch it up, okay? Make sure it's flattened, and then just crease it. I'm gonna crease it like that, okay? And then I'm gonna do the same over here, okay? I'm going to do the same here. And then I'm going to crease it. Okay? So that just gives me a guide of where I need to cut. Okay? So now it's too much paper. So I'm going to cut the corners down here. Where the corner is. I'm going to cut right there. All the way down to the product. And then on this side as well. Okay, so this is where the edge is, and I'm gonna cut the excess and leave just a little bit at the top to tape it down. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do the same here. now I'm gonna grab some tape, okay? I'm gonna do 2 cuts of tape, about the size of like a Scotch tape width. Okay, so it's gonna be boom, 1 and 2. So I just to make the cuts, I just tape it on the edge of the table and stretch it out and cut it like that. Okay. So then I'm gonna take one piece of tape here. I'm gonna cut it in half. All right. I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay. All right. So now I got 2 pieces, right? All right. I'm gonna stretch this back, smooth it out, recrease it at the same point, and then tape one side down here, and then 1 tape here in the middle. Okay. So the reason I cellophane it is to protect the product in case there's rain and snow, but also that's where I tape the edges down, so I'm not taping it on the actual product. Okay. I'm gonna take the other tape and do the same thing. Okay, cut it in half. Now I got 2 pieces. Okay, and then recrease it at the same part, and then on the corner here, I'm gonna tape it like that, and then tape it down like that. So I want to kind of make that one snug, okay? And then I'm gonna tape it towards the end of the other side here, okay? So boom, all right, it's like that. You see, like this, okay? All right. So now I'm gonna flap the excess part. I'm gonna bring it over, stretch it over a little bit, okay? Do the same thing, smooth it out, and then crease it, okay? So now I have a guide of where it is, okay? I'm creasing it there, okay? Now on the tape, this one is gonna be along this width here. So I'm gonna go a little long, okay? Go about here, okay? It's about that long, bam. Cut it. Alright, so here's my piece of tape here. And then I'm gonna leave a little room on this side because I'm gonna tape that separately, that edge down separately. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go across and just kind of do it so that there's no bubbles or anything. Okay, bam, okay, smooth. And then just do the same thing, go where the crease is, and then work my way over, taping it. Okay, go from the end to the middle, to the end, okay, and then smooth it down. All right, so now our package is in there. Flip it over, and then this one is pretty simple. This is like when you do the ends of your Christmas gift. I crease the sides, fold this one down, crease this one, okay. And this one, I'm gonna try to make this one, the width of the point a little skinnier than the other side, because I'm gonna flap this one on the top, okay. So I'm gonna try to do it a little skinnier width than the other side. Okay, do the same thing, crease it, okay. So this part is a little jagged. So I go a little bit lower than the lowest point, and that's where I cut it to straighten it out. Okay. So now it's gonna be like this, right? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll tape here. I'll tape have a little excess and a little excess. I'll tape here, and then I'll tape here like this. Okay, and then that'll complete this side. Okay, so let's do that right now. All right, so I get my tape. Okay, and I just kind of pre-cut the tape because I know what I'm gonna do. And this one I do a little bit wider than a normal Scotch tape width, just so that I'm sure that'll get fastened down. And I cut 4 of those. Okay, so I'm going to take my long one. Oh, so before I do that, I got a little too into showing you how to package. So before I do that, I got to put in the packing slip. So this is the packing slip. So I'm going to put the packing slip in there. This is when I do it. This is when I normally put it in, right after I crease that top part. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to tape it. Now I'm going to tape it. So first I just do the same thing. I just make sure that there's no air bubbles, you know, so that it's flat across, you know. Just goes towards beautifying the packaging, I guess. All right, and then do the same thing. I just try to make sure that there's no air bubbles. Okay. All right, so it's like that. And then now I'm gonna take these little bit wider pieces that I've cut and fasten down each fold here. And then this one, sometimes there's this cut here, if you can see, it's left open. So the way I tape that one down is I go long ways. That way I can fasten down both. I can fasten down this cut and the fold there. Okay. All right. So on this side, we got to do some trimming. Okay. This is the final side of the packaging, so we got to do some trimming there. So you see there's little excess there. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. But I like to trim that excess off, and I'll just cut along the dimensions of the packaging. Okay, and then this is also excess, so I like to cut those off too. So I just go in a triangle. I cut like that in a triangle, like this in a triangle, and I cut these excess things off too. Okay, so let's go do that. Okay. And optionally, what I do is I cut these things off too. Sometimes it's not fastened down, then I just snip them off. Okay. I just snip it off. Just kind of make it so that nothing's kind of hanging out. There's no paper hanging out. Okay, so this is what I got. Okay, it's like that. Okay, this side is open, right? So that's the first thing that we're gonna close. And the way I do that is I just take the tape and I start it at the end there and work it across so that there's no bubbles. Okay, so it's like that. And then I'll just cut it at the end there. Okay. All right. So I press it down and try to make it, you know, I try to make it a tight tape job there. Okay. Okay. So that part is sealed. Okay, so this was the part that I was telling you about before. I sealed that one separately. So I'll take a little bit larger cut on this. Kind of like the same cut that I did on the other side to tape down the folds. And we'll do it like that. Like that. and then I'll fold it over. Okay. Okay, so like that. Okay. Now the rest is about maybe about a Scotch tape width a tape. So I'll tape it. I'll tape this corner down, this corner. I'll tape down here, down here. Sometimes I'll tape here if it's necessary, and then this one I'll tape, you know, here, here, and here. Okay. So here we go. 1, 2, and I just go ahead and pre-cut these for the sake of saving time. Just cut a bunch of them. Okay. I don't know if that's enough or not, but we'll see. So here. Okay. So here on the edges, let me show you on the corners. So I like to start like, I want to cover that whole corner so none of it is exposed. Okay, so I'm covering the whole corner, and then I'll tape it over the side. Okay, so that gives me a little assurance that it's not gonna come up. Okay, so it's like that, and then I'll tape it over the side. Okay. There we go. And then I'll just finish that off. Okay. And do that last part there. Okay, bam, we're done with the packaging. This is the way it looks. Okay? Looks like this. Okay? So now what I'm gonna do is where I taped, where you see this, the seam here, I'm gonna cover that up with my label, okay? So that they don't see that seam. I'm gonna take my label holder, I'm gonna put it straight in like this, okay? So it's actually being put in upside down, right? So I put it in straight in like that, okay? And then I'm gonna peel the back. It's all sticky. So you gotta be careful when you peel it back, because if these things stick together, it's impossible to get it apart again. And then I'll just do it like maybe a little less than half a inch off of the edge. And I'll just line it up with that edge like that. And I'll sweep it down. I'll sweep the bottom, and then I'll sweep up, okay? So now it's down, okay? And then I'll peel that top part off, straighten it out, and place it down, and sweep it, okay? All right, so now we got our label on there. It's totally secure, it's covered the seam, so it's like double secure, basically, okay? And the final touch that I like to do is I put our tagline, I take a marker, I put our tagline here underneath the label. There's a little space to write something. Our tagline is "Carry an Angel," so I just write that in, carry an angel, carry an angel, okay? And then I tip it over to the top, and then I write, save a tree packaging. This is just to signify that, you know, we're saving on, cutting down more trees, i.e. we're not using boxes. It already comes with a packaging box, so it's not necessary actually. So that's why we just like to package over the box that it comes with, instead of having the packaging box and another box. I just feel like that's just a little too much, and you know, helps the environment a little bit, right? So that's it. So then that's the packaging, okay? So it should take you like maybe one package should be like 10 minutes or something. More than 10 minutes? 20 minutes? I'm not sure. But anyways, you'll get better at it. It'll get quicker. But those are the steps for you, okay? All right. Thank you.